each other, complement each other, like a flavors, textures, sweet, savory, crunchy, those kind of actually dishes will actually go with any kind of event, and you will be nice to have those. People will enjoy the different taste and smell and all the good things about the food, and they will remember that food for the later on. But also we need to actually remember our the special things that we do for the traditional Thanksgiving, like turkey and cranberry sauce. All those are actually part of the celebration. So if you're doing Christmas, so you might want to do the traditional Christmas dishes. Actually, before we always need to ask for how many people are coming. We need to know the people who are we are serving, who they are, and if they have any kind of allergies to any kind of food. We know that a lot of people are have an allergy to nuts. So that is one of the things that most of our food for holidays is usually with nuts. So we need to take that in consideration and actually get those foods that for whoever is have allergy to any kind of. And when we are looking for this kind of a food and we have several different kind of a dish to make, we need to actually think simple. The recipes that are simple. Like we do chop the foods, vegetables before, prepare everything beforehand to actually have the time at the day so we can make the dishes quick and fast. That's it. Also, another thing that we always are shy about is asking for help. We can ask our family and friend if they want to bring a dish. And if we are good doing that, it's better we have keep it on track, like having an app or Google Doc or something, or writing it down that okay, we are who is bringing what, so we don't have somebody else bringing that, and kind of all different flavors and everything, having it all together. Also, the other thing that we can do when guests are coming, ask them for help. Don't let them sit down over there. Most people love to help you. They love to go to the kitchen. They love to look at the dishes, what we have, what we don't have. And, just while they are over there, put them to work. That will be, they enjoy, you don't have that much stress and anything like that. So involve the guests. And also make, when you are preparing for the guests, let's have a place for your drink station is very good because of that. Have your wine, have your sodas, other drinks, whatever the cocktails that you want to have, and have them to make that for themselves. Don't go and actually do that, give that to their, serve them. Let them do it, because that way they feel more comfortable, they feel actually welcoming, and those are things that they do, that you like them to do. Also, if you have something that you can make ahead of time, that is very important that you do that, because you don't, you can actually put them into the microwave or oven for a couple minutes, 30, 20 minutes, and have them heat up. That will be a good way to save the time and enjoy your friends and family much more. Table for the table. We always I know most of the people wait for the last minute, see how many people come to actually arrange a table. So another good thing is actually 2 days before that, prepare your arrangements for like something very simple and natural, smells good, like candles, like acorns, those kind of a thing that it's actually right now we're having it all over. You can get those and have your centerpieces ready, your arrangements ready, and also a day before make sure that you have your table set with the napkins, with the silverware and everything, so you don't have to rush at the last minute to do anything. And for some doing something, and also remember, always have that in back of your mind, because when you think less is more, you take a lot of pressure off of your shoulder. So that way you can also make it a little bit more relaxing for you. And also create a timeline when you're gonna do what. When you're gonna do what. So that is, so you have your, when you're gonna go shopping for your food, when you're gonna redo your food, when you're gonna do your setting, table setting and all arrangements and everything. So you need to know when to do that. You have a timeline for that. We have a checklist that we go all through it and check, and also how long each of your food will take to prepare. That is important for the next one to be ready, and you have just several stoves, so that's, which one, you need to move and take out to bring another one. That is another thing that you can think about it and have a create a timeline for everything. Also think about your guests, about the drinks. Is anybody is bringing any drink? Is anybody allergic to any kind of a drink? If anybody have any restrictions, some people just with one sip will go, yeah. So you don't want that to happen in our setting. So that's make sure that they are, everything is, your setting is corresponding with all your guests. Also, create a comfortable sitting atmosphere. Make sure that you have lights, dim light, or the light that people can do things. Music is one of the things that you want to have it in background. Usually, if it's a piano, it's a kind of, for when you're having your dinner, you want to have a kind of very light background music. Also, think about also sitting areas. Who can sit with who is having they are matched together, and they will not talk about politics over the dinner. Be sure about that. Also, for leftovers, have a container for leftovers to go with your friends. If you don't want to keep all these foods and eating them for weeks, just have it, and people appreciate that. Some of them, ask what dishes they like, so you can give it to them to take it away. Also, the other thing that you wanted to do for is focus on the comfort that you have. This way, you can be comfortable, they can be comfortable, and everybody will have a good time with all that. Think about taking a breaks while you're doing things. Don't go full ahead and start doing everything from 5 o'clock in the morning till whenever. Just have a little breaks between, have your family to help you out, have, your husband, your kids, whoever it is, just to help you out during, and don't forget to drink a lot of water and be hydrated. And even if it has to be, just sit down and drink a cup of tea, coffee, or a water. Just do that. Just don't make yourself go all the way. And always think about how people will smile. Don't forget the laughter. If you smile, they will smile. You smile, they smile. The people who see them, they will smile. So it will kind of be, it's a smiling, it's a contagious. So you will give them way of very nice, relaxing place that they will be comfortable with all together. Also, there is a checklist. If you like, I can send it to you. If you request it, I can send it to you. And another thing that I like to say, I just prepare a course for next Tuesday at 12 o'clock my time. the Eastern time. And that is for the vendors who have vending events during the for the Christmas time. I have that class for so you can actually sign up for it and get to see how you can easily be take it to the set up your vendor table, break down your vendor table, and the things, especially for the winter season that you might be needed. And thank you so much. And if you need anything, please let me know. And you can make an appointment with me. Better call Nadia. So I will be looking forward to it.
Beautiful, Nadia. You gave us so much information. I have thousands and millions of acorns. I never thought about using them for decor and for Thanksgiving and Christmas and fall, period. So that's an awesome idea.
Oh, you're welcome.
Have a link for your vendors class?
No, I don't have a link. It will be Zoom. And if you go to Better Call Nadia, fill up the form, you can actually get that.
And is there a fee
Yeah.
for it? Is there a cost?
Yes, it's $47
Okay. And how long is it? An hour, hour and a half?
hour, an
Okay.
hour. And if somebody need more time and they need more information, I do a one-on-one too afterwards.
I love it. Thank you, Nadia. That's awesome. I do have a question for you. How do you feel about, I guess you call it potluck? You ask everybody to bring something. How do you feel about that instead of you doing everything?
I think that's the best way. You can actually get a lot of stress out of you to do that. That is another thing that, ask people what they want to bring, or when you're doing that, then you need an app or something to, or just write it down. Who's bringing what they are bringing. So, and that will be even better.
Yes, I'm asking because, as my daughters now are adults and they have their family, which is my family, but our family keeps growing. So it just the last several years, I've just, I've relinquished Thanksgiving. They can have it somewhere else, but I demand for Christmas to be at home. I'm hoping that lasts a little bit longer because I love having Christmas at my house. So the girls, they alternate which house they're having for Thanksgiving. And we have started the last several years where I do a certain amount of food, they each do food. And Nadia, you hit something on the nail with the containers. My daughters bring their own go home containers with them. Mom, here are my to go containers. Fill them up. And, they love dressing. That's their favorite stuffing, whatever you guys call it, turkey and dressing. They love just the dressing part, the best.
Mhm.
So I always make extra. So they bring their to-go containers with them to
So
fill everything up. But we do like I always make the turkey dressing and mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving, and then my girls make everything else between the
that's
two,
great.
and it really takes a lot of stress off of me. But is that okay that we do it that way? Is there anything wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely fine. That is absolutely fine. It's just that actually shows the closeness of family, how family are treating each other. They are actually, how they how close they are. That's another thing that you want to think about
I mean, we
it.
love to eat and we all love to cook. So we all get a chance to
Mhm.
cook because we do it that way. And I think it makes the girls really feel good. And the day before Thanksgiving, the grandchildren always gets with me and we always do the turkey and dressing together because they love cooking the big turkey, because it's always the biggest one we can find. And they just love doing that part. And last year I was missing my granddaughter and the oldest grandson, but the two youngest ones were with me. And this year I think I'm going to have all three grandsons with me helping me the day before. But the years before, we always had them, all four were with us. Even when they were babies, they were, that was a traditional thing I wanted to do. So yeah, what kind of things do you do, Grace, that are different or makes your heart proud?
Well, makes my heart proud that my son took chef training and pastry chef as well. And also, he works at the Costco, and they give all their employees a turkey for Christmas. And my husband loves to, work with meat, mostly meat. So he'll like to fix up the turkey and all that. And we make it simple with stovetop stuffing. We don't make it by hand or anything. And we have friends who come over, but she's allergic to onions, so we can't have onions. And that's probably why we just use stovetop stuffing. I used to make a really fabulous dressing. I put different kinds of seeds in it, and cranberries and tangerines and everything. It was really good. And but I don't do that anymore. And what I do is I make a cranberry orange spice jello. Of course, that would be the day before, and so that it will be ready for Christmas Day. And of course, I set the table. I love setting the table, and I do have the table set right now for Christmas because I just wanted to figure out where I'm going to put everything. And besides, it looks pretty in the dining room. So I'll have to take the dishes off the table and wash them before Christmas dinner. But I'll do that, and then we just decide what vegetables we want. I'll probably cook sweet potatoes, and I'll make a big bowl of sweet potatoes with nutmeg and butter in it. And then my son likes to make white potatoes, so he'll make white potatoes. And I don't know what he's going to put in it because he can't put onions in it if our friend's coming. He likes to put onions and mushrooms in it, but I don't know. But he'll do something. Sometimes he puts cheese in it too, in the mashed potatoes. And then we might even have asparagus or some kind of just
Something
mixed vegetables. That's it. And then we just, because of Costco, we just buy a pumpkin pie.
Why not, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nadia, do you have the kids over at your house for Thanksgiving and Christmas, or do you go to their house?
No, my kids are living with me, so
Oh,
it's always have been tradition that we go to my parents' house. But everybody make the dish and take it over. And since they cannot host it anymore, my brother do that, Thanksgiving is his house, and everybody brings some dish. And always they ask me to bring green bean casserole.
ah,
There is three things they ask me. Or they usually, or my brother will say, I'm making the turkey, the rest of it is yours.
now your brother lives in Florida, though, right?
Yeah, this is the second year that he moved down there. So, last year we were a cruise all together for the Thanksgiving. And this year they are going cruise and I'm not. So,
They will come closer to you, though, for the holidays.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I could use the recipe for green bean casserole. That sounds really good. What do you put in it besides green beans?
I put in cream of mushroom.
Oh, yeah.
The one that it is with roasted garlic, that is, and green beans, milk, and a lot of seasonings, and onion on top.
Mm. Do you put the little shoestring onions on the top?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. My grandmother used to have that every year. She would make that every single year, and everybody came to her house and everybody brought something because, she had 12 or 13 kids, and then grandkids and great grandkids and great great grandkids and whoever else shows up. And there was, a 3-bedroom little house, but huge amount of people. I mean, they would set indoors, outdoors, in the yard, on the porch. Nobody cared. Everybody came. They just got a plate and they did their thing, and I
Was
love
that in
it.
Texas or somewhere else?
Both sets of my grandparents lived in Arkansas. That's where I was born and raised, is Arkansas.
Well, it's still fairly warm there, right?
Most of the time, every once in a while, you'd get some coldness or snow, but they didn't care. They would all come and we would all pack in that little house. I remember it so much. And
Well,
no,
here in Canada, we just never know what it's going to be like. We could have no snow, or we could, and we call that a green Christmas, or we could have, yeah, we do, we call it a green Christmas, or we could have snow up to our knees. I know where my sister is, they have snow up to their hips. And then when they shovel it, she lives just above the laundromat, and then the people beside her have this big, huge place because they had the Sears catalog there, and they have school buses and everything. So by the time they shovel out that whole big area, the snow is like between 15 to 20 feet high. It's so high, it's crazy.
that, see, to me, that just sounds scary and it's making me feel cold just listening to it. That is cold.
That's why I'm going to Florida.
Oh yeah, yep. For well, in January, February it can get to be 40.
Oh, bless you, Grace. Bless you. Well, Nadia, please send me that checklist. I would love to get that uploaded to our member file so that all
Okay.
the members can receive that for free in your membership portal. So that would be awesome.
I will send it to you by tomorrow. So I have to go to another meeting.
Yes. And if you'll send me all the information about your event tonight, I can get it in the newsletter tomorrow.
Do
Okay.
you want the
Okay.
recipe for the cranberry orange spice?
I would love that. I think that
I
would
love
be
that.
pretty and tasty.
Yes, it would go well with either Thanksgiving or Christmas.
And my grandsons all love Jello. I mean, they love it. It
I
doesn't matter.
used to be able to get a cranberry jello, but I can't find the cranberry jello anymore, so I would use either cherry or raspberry.
Yeah. Both of those sound good though. Both of those sound good. And imagine that big, putting it in that Jello mold that Tupperware has that looks like a reed. That would be very pretty. So yes. And
Layer of that, layer of the green one, what is the lemon one, and then just
oh, that would
like
be.
making crisp.
Brown one, lemon lime, and then the cranberry one, I guess, if you could.
Yeah, that would be pretty. That would be pretty. So, but yeah, I think the holidays I think so many families miss what the holidays are really about. And I have to watch myself as well because I love having lots of gifts under the tree because I love giving. I don't care if any of them's for me. Well, I do like getting gifts too, don't get me wrong. But I love giving and watching. Let's face it, none of my grandchildren go without. None of my children go without. But I like giving those extra special things that they wouldn't go buy for themselves for our daughters. That nice sweater that Christy's been wanting, but she didn't want to spend the money on, or just anything like that. It doesn't even have to be anything expensive, but just something she wouldn't buy for herself, but she would love to have. And then the grandchildren are the same way, except the little one, I buy whatever I want him to. But now he's old enough to tell me what he wants. And he already has everything he wants, but he keeps wanting more. And what other reason do you have mom, papa for if you can't, if we can't go but we love getting together. Nadia and Grace, there's nothing better than us getting together. We get together we try every 4 to 6 weeks for no reason whatsoever, just go have dinner with everyone at Misty's house, or they'll come here, or we'll go to Christy's house. Like for Halloween, we all went there and we had dinner before we went trick-or-treating with the baby, but we were all there. It was just, she threw a bunch of taco stuff in the crock pot before she went to work, and we made nothing fancy, but see what, we just invented a reason to get together.
When do you have trick-or-treaters come to your house? Like between what time?
I live in the country, so I don't get any, but the girls, it's usually between 5 and 8 or 8:30. 5 p.m. It's still daylight, but it's really for the babies. You know, they'll bring the babies. And then it gets a little darker and a little darker. And then the girls usually turn their lights out around 8:30 because by then it's time for the real kids to go to bed and go to school the next day. And then the big kids, you never know what they're up to. So
Yeah,
that's
we have ours from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. And I noticed at 8 p.m. my neighbors, they shut the doors, turn the lights off,
yeah.
and that's it, right at 8 p.m.
Yeah,
So
ours is right at around 8:30. Everyone just shuts their off because it's really dark by then and it's a school night. But yeah, the 5-year-old left us this year. I mean, he just sprinted through the neighborhoods. And we just loved watching him and watching his mom and dad trying to keep up with him. I'm too old to be keeping up with him. I'm like, Christy, the boys just went in because they were with friends and they had went into a lady's house, invited them in. So the whole group went in her house. I'm like, Christy, get the baby out of the house. And here she runs, man, her and another mom. You just never know what people are thinking, you know? And I'm like, Bryson, you know not to go with strangers. I didn't go anywhere. We were already there. We were there at her house. I mean, they're 5. They don't know better. We teach them, but they don't get it. So,
oh
but
well, here
it's all about spending time together.
yeah, here the adults come with the children, and I have an enclosure, so the children are in the enclosure, but the adults are just right outside the enclosure. They're not far from their kids, only like 2 or 3 feet, even like about 2 feet away from their kids, you know. They're very close. They won't stay on the sidewalk. They come up quite close.
It's very strange now to me, looking back. My parents used to drive us to go trick or treating, and they would stay in the car, and we'd go 2 or 3 houses, and then they'd move the car down. But they never really got out and walked us. It was always they drove, and they never really worried about anything happening to us as far as someone stealing us. But I guess back then a lot of people were putting stuff in candy, so they would really watch that. But, you know, again, it's all about making those memories and just any reason to get together and just have dinner together, have lunch together, meet at the park and have play day. That's what's so important. You know, when I go pick up Bri after school, he just loves it because we don't go every day to pick him up. So, you know, that's a special time for him to remember that, you know? So, yeah. So, if you have an event coming up, please send me that. I can get it in the newsletter for tomorrow. Everything else is pretty well put together. I am looking for an article for next week. If anyone has an article they want to put in for the next couple of, I don't have any articles for the month of November. So if you girls have any articles you want to put in, recipes, anything like that, let's get them, you know, get me the information. I'll get them put in the newsletter. I know you two know, but I have tomorrow, I have Ask LaDonna at 9 a.m. Central Time. So if you can make it, please make it. And it's a great way to bring your questions, concerns, what's coming up. We have the cruise coming up in May. If you're wanting to go on the cruise, make your deposit. We have the book, compilation book coming out. If you want to be in the compilation book, I am doing payment arrangements. We're going to release the book in February. We're going to have a big launch party, lots of advertising so that we can be the #1 best-selling, international best-selling is what I want. That's my goal. We'll make it. So yeah, get with me if you want to be an author. It's all about how to help someone else in business. Whatever business you want and whatever you want about the business. With that said, self-care is a big one too. You'll be able to put pictures in the book if you want, black and white pictures. There's no colored pictures except on the cover, but any black and white pictures you want to put inside the book, we're going to include those as well. Lots of advertising, giveaways, book signing parties, things like that is going to be going on. And then later in the month, we will have a Thanksgiving brunch the Monday before Thanksgiving. So we all bring our brunch and we all have a round table. Speakers will be speaking, and we're really going to start the year off right, ending it good and starting 2025 with a blast. And then we'll have our holiday party in December. So we've got a lot of things going on. So really be watching the calendar. Let me know when you want to speak at each event so I can get it scheduled.
I have an Organo Gold Christmas catalog.
Oh, that would be awesome. Okay, awesome. That's
Mhm,
yes. I
mhm.
think that's beautiful too, with all the different colors they use, that gold and the browns and
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
it's really nice. Yeah. So I should give you that so you can put that in the newsletter as well as the recipe for
yeah.
the cranberry spice orange jello.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm sure Nadia has lots of recipes with all the events that you do, Nadia, and going to do. I'm sure you do. And it don't even have to be a recipe. It can be like how to put a certain centerpiece together,
Hmm.
or a vine or plant together for a table, whatever it is. So keep all this in mind and just send it over to me, and I'll get it put in the newsletter. I'll get you scheduled for speaking, and just keep growing. And don't forget, we have the affiliate program. Everyone you bring in the membership, if you bring someone to that signs up for the cruise, do you know that I'm giving, it's around $200 because it's 20%. It's almost $200, right around $200 that you will make. So Nadia's not going on the cruise, for instance, but let's say she has a friend that comes on the cruise and signs up. Nadia's making 20%. Same thing, Grace. Bring someone to the membership. It's a good way to make some extra cash that you really don't depend on. So, but yes, it's nice. It's nice to have the affiliate program. So, all right, ladies, let's get a picture real quick. Awesome. All right. Thank you. Have a good evening and hope to see you in the morning.
See you later.
All right.